Now, today's topic is the government, budget, and taxation. What is a budget? How the taxation process goes on. Before understanding how the budget is presented and how the taxation process goes on, let us find out what is the duty of the government. The government holds the entire responsibility of the modern days for maintaining the educational system, the defense system, the medical facilities for the public. All these things fall under the control and the purview of the government. See, the government holds the entire responsibility of schools, colleges, educational universities, medical colleges, engineering colleges. All the entire educational system has to be controlled by the government. So, in order to maintain the entire educational system, the schools are to be built, the teachers are to be recruited, then it has to be open to all the people. The school will be collecting some nominal fee. In the government schools, the fees is very less. So, this government does not get any revenue from the schools, but government has to spend huge amount as a salaries, and the budgetary allocation has to be done for building of the infrastructure at various schools. So, it is the whole and sole responsibility of the government to look after the educational system, college system, because the government feels it is a basic responsibility that it ensures education to all its citizens. So, in order to make the citizens a better people or a better human beings, they should be well educated so that their futures will be secure and safe, which leads them towards the better prospectus of their life, their families, and ultimately towards the nation. And the GDP of the nation also will increase if they are contributing well by paying the taxpayers. So, these all will be an added advantage, but primary responsibility of the government, when the government is taking the primary responsibility and constructing the schools and all, here the government has to bear the cost. Then only government can see the fruits of its development. Then moving on to the public facilities. All the public facilities are to be ensured by the state government or the central government, where it regions it belongs to, because nobody invests for the public. The whole and sole responsibility of the government is to ensure public is feeling safe and secure and provides. For example, let us take electricity. If electricity is not produced by the government, most of the people in the cities or in the rural areas cannot even run their day-to-day businesses. Let us start with any small incident. Even in a household, we need the electricity to a maximum extent. When we are moving towards a business, for example, if a person is a juice shop owner, if there is no electricity and his mixer can't make juice, obviously it leads to loss for him. If you take any other business where there is no electricity, the business has become very less. The most important, if you take agriculture, agriculture runs on rain, but we need the supply of water daily. So, in order to get the water daily, in order to sprinkle the fertilizers, in order to get the water supplied for the corners of the field, we need the motors, and motors will run only by using the electricity. So, there are various uses for electricity which the government has to ensure for the availability of the public, and it has to take the responsibility of the public facilities. And at the same time, leaving apart the long goals of education, hostel facilities or medical facilities, electricity, and these, we also have the programs guaranteed called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This was passed in 2005, which ensures that on the demand of the work, every person, especially in the rural areas, is eligible for 100 days of work with a fairly wage payment. This is also again that they have to start the works which make the rural people to get involved in that places, and they get the opportunity to work at various places. This opportunity to work should be created by the government, and for generation of employment for at least, we have 5,50,000 villages in India nearly where they depend on agriculture, and total villages are 6,80,000 villages. So, among all these villages, if you need to generate the MNREGA Act requirements, you need a lot of money to be invested in that. So, again it is a money investment which has to be done only by the government, because no other private organizations or firms are ready to invest on a place where there is no kind of guarantee back for them, but government, as it ensured them that they are going to do certain kind of things. So they start some plans and prepare the act to get successful. And at the same time, government also have the responsibility of the PDS system, the public distribution system of the rice, food grains, edibles at very less cost or subsidized cost than the market price, and there are nearly 44,000 public distribution shops or known as ration shops or fair shops in our AP state alone. And these people, the poor people, get categorized into different categories like below poverty line, basic poverty line, below poverty line, and the above poverty line. The above poverty line do not get any advantage of this, but the below poverty line and below than the below poverty line, people are categorized again in two card system. These two cards people will get, some will get per head 4 kgs of rice at very less cost, and the others will get the 35 kgs of rice. And for the old aged people, they have the Annapurna scheme, which provides 10 kgs of rice freely for them. So these all comes under the public distribution system, and it is again the responsibility of the government to ensure the smooth functioning of these shops and distribution of the products, especially the rice and everything. For all these shops is the responsibility of the government to ensure that these shops are getting the required substances of elements whatever is required for them. Then moving on to the rural areas. In rural areas, the development is very slow when compared to the urban areas, because in urban areas you have the people concentrating money on their own developments as well as the private firms developing them. We have the employment opportunities, we have various other activities generating, and source of income will be more in the urban areas. But when it comes to the rural areas, the people are highly dependent on the agricultural sector and next on the dairy farming. So those who are dependent on the agricultural sector are not having assured guarantee, because it depends highly on the rainfall of the monsoons. So most of the time, as this year what happened, we did not get the rains in proper time. So it has the responsibility of the government to ensure that water supply is done for the crop. If the rains are coming late, obviously the crop will be kept late. When the crop is kept late, you get it into hand late. When the crop is coming late for us, the cost of the product will increase high, because instead of coming in January, it comes in February or in March. So this gap has to be filled. So the stock requirement will be increasing. Obviously the demand of the product will increase, and it increases the cost of the product, which is affecting the everybody. So we have the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act also to be enforced in the rural areas. Electricity supply is very poor in the rural areas when it compared to the urban areas. So these all are the basic responsibilities of the government, which has to ensure all these activities to be done. These are only for the few activities what we have discussed. There are various other activities which has to be covered by the government, and these all are the basic sources of providing safety and implementation of the tools of the government responsibility to make sure all of them are getting the better aspects of living standards. So to do all these things, the government needs revenue. As I was mentioning earlier, when we are discussing about the responsibility to build the schools, to build the colleges, to build the medical universities or medical colleges, any universities, we need the fund granted by the government. When we talk about the public facilities, any facility which has to be maintained has to be funded with certain amount. That is again fund granted by the government. When we talk about the MNREGA, this is a huge amount which has to be invested by the government on the development of the rural areas, and also guarantees 100 days of work for the agricultural labor people who ask in the rural areas. Then we have the public distribution system, where the rice, the oils, the edibles, everything will be transferred from the Food Corporation of India to the respective ration shops or the fair shops, which makes sure for them to get redistributed for all. So this is again the responsibility of the government. And then coming off to the rural areas, taking care of their medical facilities, looking after about the electricity facilities, day-to-day needs, building up of the roads, developing the infrastructure, all these things we need the money, that is nothing but economic resources. So in order to finalize the economy or to get all these works done, the government prepares a pre-planned sketch of how to earn money, how to execute the money. It's simple. How much income do we have? How many works we have to done? The income what we are getting is called the basic income, and what we are spending is called the total expenses. So that is termed by the word called budget. The word budget is derived from the word called bagoti, which means a purse which is used by the French exchequer. So the financial documents used to be carried in a particular purse which is made of leather during the earlier period. That is the reason why the word budget has become into prominent. So the word budget means for us the revelation of the income and the total expenditure. The total income earned by the country through various sources and the total expenditure spent by the nation to various reasons. So total income, total expenditure, together what is the balanced amount or the deficit amount, all these things details are mentioned clearly in the budget. So if we have a case study on 2011 and 12 budget, India has made a budget of 23 lakh crores. Out of these 23 lakh crores, India has to spend nearly 1/4 only on the maintenance of the government sector. See, India has nearly, under the central union government, we have 32 departments and 192 offices working under it. Total we have the expenditure of the budget, among that 1/4, it is nearly 5.7 crores, lakh crores to be spent only and only for the payment of the government salaries, either it for the state government employees or for the central government employees, whomever it may be. The government takes the responsibility of paying the salaries for them because they are government employees, and to ensure for them the payments are done in time, the entire amount is allotted in the budget. And moving on to the other various important sectors where the budget has kept its crucial investments. The other major important sector was defense. Obviously, after the government employees, the most important sector is the defense, where military, army and navy fall into this category, and India spends a huge amount on maintaining and upgradation of the military as well as for the defense personnels or the defense system of India, because we have neighbors who are very strong in spending their budgetary up to 50 to 80% towards the development of their military strength. So India has to stand in firm place. So India has to allot certain amount for the development of the defense system, and in this process only India has brought many new weapons or like inbuilt of the new weapons, making the navy very strong, buying the new Sukhoi aeroplanes or special fighter planes. All these things were part and parcel of this budget, where they have to allot money in the budget. And then the major investment was done 12% on educational sector, where if people are educated well, obviously they can understand the democracy well, they get the best job opportunities, they can analyze what is right and what is wrong, they can move forward ahead in their life and get success in their life only and only if they are educated. Today, without education, a man is waste. That is what earlier we used to have a saying like, man who doesn't have education is like a beast animal who was not tamed even. So the beast animal doesn't know anything, when a tamed animal can perform the actions very well according to its master. So the same way, a person who is not trained well or educated well is like a beast who cannot be tamed at all. Now moving on to the other major sector where the government has kept its investment, that is the 1/4 on the government salaries, then 4% on the sanitation of the nation, how to improve the sanitation facilities, provide the basic drainage canal systems, flow of the dust, then removal of the employment, who removes the cleans the roads very soon and very often, very clearly, like daily twice, so that the roads will be clean and green. Then we have 4% towards the rural development. I think this 4% has not very much in regarding to the rural development of India, because in India we have nearly 6.8 lakh villages, where 4% means it just falls only some 70 to 80 crores, which is very less. This kind of investments has to be increased more, and government plans very detailedly for all the sectors. It is very easy for us to judge whether it is a educational budget, whether it's a government sector budget, whether it's an election budget, whether it is a development budget, but it becomes a very tough task for the government to give whether it has to take this part or towards that part, because it has to balance all the things, and the income resources what we have are very less. But it has to balance all the needs of the various departments, various needs of the public, various interests of the public has to be addressed very clearly. So it becomes really a tough task and $1 million question to what has to be judged done first and the next. Sometimes government adopt for the most crucial things immediate action rather than the things which are can be done slowly, they take it in the next budgets. So in this way, budget and the responsibilities of the government go hand in hand, and they play a very vital role in planning the budget. Now let us discuss how is the income developed for a nation. What is the role of an income, especially in regarding to tax? What are the different types of taxes?